Welcome to our show, College Briefing. Today's headlines are sure to keep you on the edge of your seat. First up, we have a shocking incident from Butler, Pennsylvania, where a rally for Donald Trump ended in chaos after shots were fired, targeting the former president. Political leaders worldwide have expressed their shock and relief over the incident, praising the quick response of the Secret Service. Stay tuned for all the details on this dramatic event and its aftermath. Next, for all you sports fans out there, EA Sports College Football 25 is generating a lot of buzz. With two of the fastest players in the game hailing from the Oregon Ducks, this release is set to be a blockbuster. We'll dive into the game's features and what fans can expect from this highly anticipated release. And finally, a concerning environmental story from South Australia, where the renowned Ewens ponds and Piccaninnie ponds are facing a potential ecological crisis. Low water levels and algae growth are threatening these beautiful freshwater ponds, and efforts are underway to restore them. We'll explore what's being done to save these natural treasures. Please stay tuned for detailed coverage of these stories and more. Associated Press. Washington, AP. What started as a celebratory rally for Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, quickly turned into chaos as shots rang out, resulting in the former president being wounded and a suspected would-be assassin being shot dead by the Secret Service. The rally, which was part of Trump's campaign ahead of the Republican National Convention, saw one spectator killed and two others critically injured. Trump, while showcasing a chart on border crossing numbers, was interrupted by at least 5 gunshots. He was seen clutching his ear and hitting the ground as Secret Service agents formed a protective shield around him. Despite being bloodied, Trump stood up and pumped his fist to the crowd before being whisked away to a medical facility. The FBI, alongside the Secret Service and local law enforcement, is leading the investigation into this most serious assassination attempt on a U.S. president or presidential candidate since Ronald Reagan in 1981. Trump later assured his supporters via Truth Social that he was fine and extended his condolences to the family of the person killed at the rally. The Globe and Mail. Republican and Democratic leaders, as well as international figures, expressed shock and relief after gunfire erupted at a Donald Trump campaign rally in Pennsylvania. Former Presidents George W. Bush and Barack Obama praised the quick actions of the Secret Service and expressed gratitude that Trump was safe. Nancy Pelosi, whose husband was a victim of political violence in 2022, condemned the attack and extended prayers for all those affected. Trump Jr. confirmed his father was in high spirits, while Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida both condemned the violence and wished Trump a speedy recovery. Even Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, despite his adversarial relationship with Trump, expressed his wishes for Trump's health and condemned the attack. Obama emphasized that political violence has no place in democracy, while President Joe Biden called the attack sick. The response highlighted a rare moment of unity across political lines, with leaders urging for civility and respect in politics. Associated Press. Butler, Pennsylvania, AP. A jubilant rally for Donald Trump turned into a harrowing scene as shots were fired shortly after he took the stage in Butler, Pennsylvania. Trump was discussing illegal border crossings when the gunfire erupted, prompting Secret Service agents to rush him off the stage. Trump, bleeding from his ear, managed to pump his fist to the crowd before being escorted to a waiting SUV. The attack, which left the shooter and one rallygoer dead, is being investigated as an assassination attempt. Rallygoers, who had gathered in the sweltering heat, were left in shock, with many dropping to the ground at the sound of gunfire. The event, held in a city that strongly supported Trump in past elections, was meant to be a final push before the Republican National Convention. Despite the chaos, Trump's campaign confirmed he was fine and expressed gratitude for the swift actions of the Secret Service. The scene, which began with chants of Trump, 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 and patriotic music, ended with a field declared a crime scene, highlighting the ever-present threat of violence in American politics. The Globe and Mail reports that Canadian leaders have strongly condemned the shooting at former President Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau expressed his disgust and emphasized that political violence is never acceptable, extending his thoughts to Trump and all Americans. The shooting, which is being investigated as an attempted assassination, saw Trump whisked off the stage by Secret Service agents after multiple gunshots were heard. The shooter and an attendee were killed. Canadian politicians from various parties, including federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre and federal NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, united in their denunciation of the violence, stressing the need for peaceful political discourse. Yahoo US shares the excitement surrounding the upcoming release of EA Sports College Football 25, which has been eagerly awaited for a decade. Football fans, especially those of the Oregon Ducks, are thrilled as the game features two of the fastest players, receivers Tez Johnson and Evan Stewart, with impressive speed ratings of 96 and 95. Quarterback Dylan Gabriel, with a high overall rating of 92, is set to be a formidable player in the game, making the Ducks a team to watch. The game's release on July 19 is highly anticipated, promising millions of sales and downloads as fans prepare to lead their favorite teams to victory. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation highlights growing concerns over the future of Ewens ponds, internationally recognized freshwater ponds in South Australia's southeast. Prominent diver and former Australian of the Year, Dr. Richard Harris, fears the ponds are nearing a tipping point due to low water levels and the closure of the site to water activities. Flinders University's Dr. Margaret Schonefield explains that water flows through limestone into the ponds, keeping them fresh, but a significant decrease in water flow has been observed since 2014. Conservation efforts are ongoing, with officials hoping to restore the wetlands despite the complex issues impacting both Ewens ponds and nearby Piccaninnie ponds. South China Morning Post. Wu Guangheng, founder and president of the 5GH Foundation, celebrated a small victory when Wiley, a U.S. academic publishing company, initiated an investigation into one of its journals following a tip-off from his team about suspected misconduct. Wu's nonprofit organization, based in Guangdong Province, plays a pivotal role in exposing academic fraud in China. Recently, they investigated Professor M. Santosh of the China University of Geosciences, Beijing, who had published an unusually high number of papers, raising suspicions. Their findings revealed that over 65% of Santosh's publications since 2020 involved conflicts of interest, such as being the handling editor of his own papers. This investigation is part of a broader effort funded by the Chinese government to elevate the quality and integrity of domestic academic journals, aiming to create a portfolio of world-class journals through initiatives like the Journal Excellence Action Plan. The Independent. Fraternity brothers from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, who gained national attention for holding up an American flag during a Gaza solidarity demonstration, will speak at the Republican National Convention, RNC. The incident occurred when protesters attempted to replace the American flag with a Palestinian one, leading to chants of USA and the arrest of over 30 demonstrators. The fraternity members' actions were praised by the Trump campaign, which highlighted them as examples of everyday Americans standing up for their beliefs. These students are among the 24 speakers at the RNC, which aims to give a platform to workers, veterans, and families who feel neglected under the current administration. Australian Broadcasting Corporation. Misnaming, a common cognitive slip, has been in the spotlight after U.S. President Joe Biden mistakenly referred to his Vice President Kamala Harris as Donald Trump during a press conference. Neuroscientists explain that such errors are often due to stress, lack of sleep, or a lapse in concentration rather than cognitive decline. Dr. Stephanie Wong from Flinders University notes that the brain tends to group related names, leading to mix-ups, especially under pressure. Dr. Damien Halsinger from the University of Sydney adds that while aging does lead to a natural decline in neuron production, everyday name mix-ups are not indicative of serious cognitive issues. Both experts emphasize the importance of sleep in maintaining cognitive function and memory, suggesting that occasional misnaming is a normal part of how our brains manage information. Yahoo US EA Sports' upcoming College Football 25 video game is generating excitement among fans, particularly for its dedication to authentic college football traditions. YouTuber QJB shared a video showcasing the game's Road to Glory mode, highlighting Florida State University's iconic traditions at Doak Campbell Stadium. The video captures the Seminoles' entrance, complete with the Osceola riding Renegade and planting the spear at midfield, accompanied by fans performing the tomahawk chop and the war chant. This immersive experience promises to replicate the electrifying atmosphere of a real FSU game. The game is set against the backdrop of the 2025 season, featuring matchups against Alabama and Kent State. QJB's gameplay as London Bridges 2, a defensive back transferring from LSU to FSU, adds a personal touch to the anticipation surrounding the game's release. Australian Broadcasting Corporation. Australian researchers from Griffith University have made a groundbreaking discovery that could explain the mysterious health issues plaguing Gulf War veterans for decades. The study identified a significant defect in the immune cells of veterans, potentially caused by exposure to hazardous agents during the Gulf War. This defect, found in specific ion channels or cell doors, prevents calcium from entering cells at normal levels, leading to symptoms such as fatigue, headaches, and respiratory issues. The research offers hope for recognition and treatment of Gulf War illness, a condition affecting up to a third of the veterans. Ian Allwood, a veteran who participated in the study, expressed relief at the prospect of having his symptoms validated after years of being doubted by medical professionals. The study's findings may also have implications for conditions like long COVID and chronic fatigue syndrome. Researchers are now exploring potential treatments, including the drug naltrexone, to restore normal cell function in affected veterans. The Globe and Mail, Iran's newly elected president, Masoud Pezeshkian, has vowed to balance relations with all countries while firmly rejecting U.S. pressure. In his message published in the Tehran Times, Pezeshkian emphasized strengthening ties with neighbors and supporting diplomatic efforts for a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas conflict. He praised Iran's strategic alliances with Russia and China and expressed willingness to facilitate peace between Russia and Ukraine. Pezeshkian criticized Western countries for failing to uphold their commitments following the U.S. withdrawal from the 2015 nuclear deal, which has led to severe economic sanctions on Iran. He underscored Iran's adherence to the deal and condemned the U.S. for causing significant economic and humanitarian damage. Despite the challenges, Pezeshkian aims to engage in constructive dialogue with European countries and address the economic struggles faced by the Iranian public. He has aligned with moderate and reformist figures, appointing former Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif to lead the Transition Council, focusing on key cabinet appointments and a smooth leadership handover. The Globe and Mail, former First Lady Melania Trump will be making a rare political appearance at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee next week but is not expected to address the gathering. This contrasts with her previous speeches at the last two conventions, where she spoke about her husband's dedication and her own upbringing. The list of speakers this year includes prominent figures such as Florida Senator Marco Rubio, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, along with Trump allies like his sons Donald Jr. and Eric Trump, former Fox News host Tucker Carlson, and UFC CEO Dana White. The convention will also feature individuals from various walks of life, including students and parents struggling financially. Yahoo US, a U.S. Government Accountability Office (GAO) report reveals that K-12 student arrests more than double in schools with police presence compared to those without. The data, based on 2017 to 2018 figures, shows that arrests disproportionately affect students of color and those with disabilities. Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander, Black, and American Indian Alaska Native students face arrest rates 2 to 3 times higher than white students. The report highlights cases like a Florida district found to discriminate against disabled students by relying on suspensions and law enforcement rather than proper behavioral interventions. The GAO has made recommendations to the Education Department to collect more comprehensive data on student arrests and ensure districts are informed about changes in data collection. The Toronto Star, Melania Trump will attend the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee but will not give a speech, diverging from her previous appearances where she highlighted her husband's character and her own background. The convention's speaker lineup features a mix of political heavyweights and Trump loyalists, including his sons Donald Jr. and Eric Trump, and former Fox News host Tucker Carlson. Notable attendees also include evangelist Franklin Graham and Teamsters president Sean O'Brien. The event will spotlight regular people, such as students from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and parents facing financial difficulties, reflecting the campaign's effort to connect with everyday Americans. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Morning sunlight on the street, city whispers soft and sweet, faces mix in daily grind. every story intertwined. Cultures blend like colors bright. Languages in the silent night. On the table, stories told. Food and feast upon so bold. People living day by day. In the heart they find their way. Sharing moments, voices sing. In this world of everything. Society in rhythms beat. Entertainment's fleeting heat. Echoes of wars and fears. Laughing through our unseen tears. Children playing in the park. Drawing dreams till after dark. Elders speak of days gone by. Washing shadows from the sky. People living day by day. In the heart they find their way. Sharing moments, voices sing. In this world of everything. Society